Today we're talking about white genocide, the bizarre idea that white people are being wiped off the face of the earth by brown people. Some say that white genocide is just a white nationalist conspiracy theory used to justify racial violence, while white nationalists say, But just because it's a crackpot conspiracy theory doesn't mean it's not dangerous. Genocide. There's nothing on earth more brutal than one group singling out another group for mass extermination. We've all heard of the Holocaust, the genocide of Native Americans, the Armenian genocide, except if you're from Turkey, then you just plug your ears and pretend I just said Armenian water slide. But did you know that there is also a white genocide?
White genocide is a catchphrase used by a white supremacist group. The group believes that anyone who actively opposes racism is secretly against white people. And because women are having fewer white babies, this translates to genocide of white people.
Unlike other genocides, which are brutal and murderous and, real, what constitutes white genocide is a lot more broad and a lot more petty.
Old Navy posted this picture to promote a sale. Others called the picture an example of white genocide.
Star Trek Discovery features Asian actress Michelle Yeoh as the captain and Sonequa Martin Green as her first officer. And they've gone so far as to call it white genocide in space.
Yeah, how come space is full of black holes, but there's no white holes? That's reverse spacism! Man, white nationalists have a really low bar for genocide. Like, try to wrap your head around what it would be like if the Museum of Tolerance had a white genocide memorial.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch.
Clearly, this is just a ridiculous white supremacist theory, so why cover it at all? Well, even though white genocide is not real, the white victimhood complex underlying it is real as f***.
White people today are more likely to think that they are the victims of discrimination than are black people in our country.
And what's really alarming about this is the way the mainstream right seems to push the white victimhood narrative in ways that invoke parts of the white genocide theory. Some have almost legitimized it. Take Donald Trump. Not only has he retweeted from an account straight up called white genocide, but one of the delegates his campaign chose for the California Republican primary sent out this robocall to voters last year.
I am William Johnson, a farmer and white nationalist. The white race is dying out in America and Europe because we are afraid to be called racist. Few schools anymore have beautiful white children as a majority. Don't vote for a Cuban, vote for Donald Trump.
Beyond Trump, conservative mouthpieces and leaders have been dog-whistling white genocide into America's subconscious for years. And by dog-whistling, I mean using code words to spread fears about a perceived threat to white Christian hegemony, which is why I've decided to blow the whistle on these dog whistles with my very own dog whistle. Let's start with conservatives' favorite anti-diversity dog whistle, multiculturalism.
And now with the multicultural vogue, you get bilingual education, separatism, multiculturalism.
They do not teach assimilation. They teach multiculturalism in our schools.
Christmas is fun. Multiculturalism is boring.
Sometimes it sounds like it's straight out of Jim Crow.
Younger people today, it's not at all unusual for people to see multicultural dating, for example.
Yeah.
Back when I was young, you didn't date out of your own ethnicity. But in Europe and other places, this mingling that's going on here, younger people are beginning to find this acceptable.
Oh, look at that face. That is the face of someone who just realized that Bob's racist dog whistle was replaced with a megaphone. And what even are Blasians? How are people triggered by the existence of interracial relationships in 2017? I don't want to be that guy who paints all these people as inbred racists, but they're literally saying that not inbreeding is genocide. So I don't know what I'm supposed to feel. This coded language isn't just relegated to Fox News, but even currently holds office. Just listen to Congressman Steve King's views on diversity and multiculturalism.
We've essentially phased out the promotion of assimilation, and we promoted instead multiculturalism and diversity as if it were our strength.
Listen, assimilation and diversity are not mutually exclusive, okay? You can be a Muslim and love football. You can be black and love Duck Dynasty. You can be Jewish and write all of the best Christmas songs like Let It Snow, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We even wrote I'm Dreaming of a White Christmas, but y'all act like we wrote I'm Dreaming of a White Genocide, and we did not write that! Okay, our next dog whistle is a lot less subtle, and I know you're thinking to yourself, the other ones weren't that subtle. Well, check this out. White babies.
More minority babies are being born in the USA than white babies. The combination of Hispanics, Asians, and African Americans will overtake white Americans. How will that change the country, in your opinion?
The complexion of the country, and for the first time in human history, will become darker.
It has to play out in a political and social way.
Well, Bill, thanks to your alarmist rhetoric, it actually does play out in a political and social way, mostly by mobilizing douchebags like this f***ing guy.
We should stop white genocide.
Who's committing white genocide?
Who's doing it?
I'm committing. What have I done that means I'm committing white genocide?
Don't want to reproduce anymore.
Damn, I thought my parents put too much pressure on me to have kids. Imagine being this dude's son. Son, your mother and I were wondering, when are we gonna see some grand wizards? Grand dragons. Grand knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Grandkids! Here's Speaker Paul Ryan using the "we gotta make more white people" dog whistle. See if you can spot all the times he meant to say white.
People. This is going to be the new economic challenge for America. People. Baby boomers are retiring. I did my part, but you know, we need to have higher birth rates in this country.
And finally, my favorite dog whistle, Western civilization.
Our civilization is superior, and we need to defend it.
Stop this disaster to Western civilization.
Western civilization is in a war.
The birth rates in especially Western Europe, but also Eastern Europe and in the United States, have gone down below the replacement rate. We have to do something to increase our birth rate, or the vacuum that's created will be filled by people that don't believe in our values here in Western civilization.
Whoa! All right, that was like a white genocide dog whistle jackpot. All right, we had Western civilization, white baby birth rate, and replacement. Where have I heard replacement before? Oh, that's right. For those of you who didn't catch it, Western civilization is code for white people. And that Western civilization rhetoric was repeated by our president just a few months ago in Poland.
The defense of the West defend our civilization itself. But if we do not have strong families and strong values, then we will be weak and we will not survive.
In other words, pump out those white babies, Poland. And guess what? A few months after Trump's speech, 60,000 right-wing nationalists marched in Poland, complete with slogans like "Clean Blood," "White Poland," and even included people blaming Jews for Muslim immigration. And since Poland has a Jewish population of less than 10,000, blaming the Jews is kind of like blaming Josh. Get out, Josh, you're ruining Poland! This message that white people are in existential danger is dangerous in and of itself, because it justifies violence against those considered threats to whiteness. Think about it. That means that a fake genocide against white people could actually cause a real genocide against people of color. The truth is, white people aren't in existential danger because multiculturalism is not genocide. Multiculturalism is American culture. From our food, to our language, to our music. I was in my high school mariachi band, all right? Look at my face. Is that the face of a kid who's currently being genocided? No. I was in that band because I was not good enough to get in a jazz band. In conclusion, there's f***ing Nazis in the White House. Hey guys, I've been Matt Lieb. Thank you so much for watching Newsbroke. Please smash that subscribe button and, you know, f***ing follow me on Twitter and subscribe and like and comment if you've noticed any weird, vaguely Nazi dog whistles on conservative media or by politicians, because I know I have. Hey, look at this. It's a white and red swirl. It's like white genocide. Also, it's a Jew eating a candy cane. Many levels of white genocide going on here. Happy Kwanzaa.